Coach, we have a damp and rainy afternoon in the tri-state area as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to MetLife Stadium in the Garden State of New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Set, 180. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Mayfield off the play fake. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
54. Switch up. Real. Let's go.
Now on 2nd and 13. Mayfield. On the catch, it's Duke Johnson. It'll be a gain of 9, and just like that, it's third down.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
He finds Beckham, complete. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Don't be mad. It's more coming. This is more where I came from.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
54.
To throw, Mayfield. That'll be caught by Kupp. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A run for Nick Chubb. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 yards there, first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's Mayfield. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing, Mayfield to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26.
You better be afraid of me.
Now it's Darnold. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Cannon. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Browns drive about to get started as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield And he's got the hook up to Landry. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Mayfield escaping the pressure right. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Aguilar has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
He's not going to get me.
On 1st down, Darnold. Caught by his tight end, Wesco. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. 30, the 20, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Larry Ogunjobi in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Let's go. 36, 36. Lady.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 13 yards to pick up there, good for a Cleveland first. They run again on 1st down, Chubb. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, Chubb fumbled it. And it's scooped up by the Jets. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. Past the 20. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Darnold now to throw. This one caught by Crowder. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets have taken the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Darnold. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Completes it to McGuire out of the backfield. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Darnold toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. And he's got it, and he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
We're going to start. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. We don't want this.
Throwing again is Darnold. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Sam Darnold as the first half is winding down. And the Jets will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Browns drive about to get started. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
You mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half, Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
Mike 53. Here we go, here we go.
Here's Darnold. Completes it to Aguilar. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Here we go.
That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And the Jets, first down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
We're going to sign 53. Mike.
They gonna need some therapy out there.
Red 80. Hey, son.
They'll run on first down with Cannon. Oh, jumping over. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4.
Brings up second and 4.
The last run got 6, now second and 4.
Let's set a tone, fellas.
They'll run again with Cannon. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Yo, son. 53, check 53. Here we go, D. Here I come, here I come.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. Found his target. It's Anderson. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard. Shy of the 5.
It's a gain of 38 yards. That's another Jets first down. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. On 1st down, here's McGuire. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd down and goal. Darnold to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And Darnold, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Jordan Jenkins able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Mayfield, and he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Now Darnold. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Check 53 is mine.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there.
They'll run on first down. Cannon. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They go again with Cannon. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Let's go, baby.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
53 is the mic. Watch the screen. Pass.
On first down, it's Cannon. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the run.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Throw complete to Herndon. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A 3rd down run with McGuire. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Browns drive about to get started. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Flushed out right. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Complete. It's Johnson. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy on the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. Eluding the pressure right. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
20. Rip left.
Mayfield on play action. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. A shotgun snap for Darnold. It's caught by Aguilar. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Let them know, let them know.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now on fourth down, honors the punt team sending this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Forced out to, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Copeland able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on first down, Mayfield, and the catch made by Johnson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw, Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. He finds Beckham, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now a man open down the middle of the field. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Play fake. Mayfield. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Well, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Now Mayfield. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 4 there and gives him a new set of downs. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 18. And the return will stop right around the 25. Landry, the intended target. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit and try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
One more time, it's Cannon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. The Jets on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Mayfield looks to throw. Flush to his right. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Mayfield to throw it. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done.